are underway in Buffalo. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Well, this defense for the Bills, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Eckler again. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They go play action. Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
On the move to his the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyrel Dodson, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Mayfield. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing a turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, Cook. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Channing Tindall, the one who got through to drop him. So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. This a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal line.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour. On 2nd down, Eckler. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Cook running right. Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The Bills hit 9-4 now on the year. They've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. 2nd down coming up. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. He's got the 1st down and more. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full hands, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted in that gear, he was the absolute bear out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Matt Milano.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's has 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Keep it going! Take it to war! Stay on point, fellas! Turn it up, fellas! Turn it up! You want to win!
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They felt they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Off play action. Allen. Flushed out right. Pass caught. It's Davis on the crossing route. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will hang on to their lead. So golden field position there is squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Mayfield's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Kaiir Elam in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To the air, Allen. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That's caught by his running back, Raheem Mostert. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield with it once more. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They start the drive with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Allen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Allen going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbinoghene. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And the pick six we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a two-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Throwing now is Allen. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Bradley Chubb picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now Hill to return it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. Mayfield looks to throw. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Eckler now between the tackles. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gregory Rousseau in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. A give left side to Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Hill on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Mayfield. He's got Eckler. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Mayfield. Pass incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Baker. He's got to complete to Waddle. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one, got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Now Mayfield. This is swung out to Eckler. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. Mayfield to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Mayfield. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and the Bills have just about sewn up this football game. Well, they give him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone. Right, we use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something